All right, so by now you have probably heard the news. I know I'm late. Okay? I got busy yesterday. I heard the news. I was going to tell you guys I was going to make a video, but I got busy, okay? I couldn't do anything about it. But nevertheless, I'm sure you have heard that Jon Jones injured himself. He will no longer be fighting at UFC 295. Stipe is also out, apparently. So now we have a last-minute step in. Tom Aspinall is going to be fighting Sergei Pavlovich. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this makes this card even more exciting.
Ultimate Punching?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ultimate Punching, your ultimate MMA channel. And today we're going to be talking about the bombshell that was dropped by the UFC that Tom Aspinall and Sergei Pavlovich are going to be fighting for the interim heavyweight title. Please show this channel some love. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me grow the channel and I really appreciate it. Now there's something beautiful about Jon Jones, the greatest light heavyweight of all time, fighting Stipe Miocic, the greatest heavyweight of all time, and making this kind of their last fight, send them off into the sunset. There is something beautiful about that. But to me, the even more exciting thing is having these two up-and-comers who are absolute savages competing for an interim heavyweight championship. Now let's break it down here. Look at Sergei Pavlovich. First of all, everybody knows this guy has dynamite for hands. He's finished every single one of his opponents in the UFC inside the first round. He's only lost one time. The guy is 6-1 since he joined the UFC. And if we look at Tom Aspinall, same thing. He's also 6-1. He's finished every single one of his opponents inside the first round with the exception of one guy. And has lost to Curtis Blades. It's kind of a fluke injury. So you've got these two absolute killers. You've got Sergei, dynamite for hands, can put basically anybody out with one punch. And you've got Tom Aspinall, who does appear to be the more well-rounded fighter. He has finished people with punches, he can hit hard, but he's also got a grappling pedigree and he has a good number of submissions under his belt as well. I can't tell you how exciting this is to see some of these young guys finally get their crack, finally get an opportunity, finally get to put on a show for the world. And the implications of this are absolutely crazy. So in regards to Jon Jones, we know that they're saying he's going to be out for at least 8 months. And then we got camp, all these other things, if he chooses to come back. He doesn't need to. Of course he doesn't need to, but he could. And if he does come back, you know, we're probably more than a year away from seeing his return. And in the meantime, is Stipe going to wait around that long? I know he wants to get at least one more fight under his belt before he goes, maybe a couple more. Who knows what happens there? But guys, let me tell you that this is one of the most exciting things to happen. Look, we've had some wild things just even in the last 3 months, right? Strickland defeating Izzy, Volk and Usman jumping in on short notice to take on Khamzat Chimaev and Islam Makhachev. This is up there. The heavyweight division is going to be shaken up. So the question is, who gets it done? My initial thought when I heard this is that Pavlovich. All he needs to do is hit him one time in 25 minutes and he's probably going to defeat Tom Aspinall. But at the same time, Tom Aspinall can throw as well, and he's got a lot more options as far as his arsenal goes from what we've seen. Now again, we don't know if Pavlovich has any other tools because he's never needed to use them. Bang! He wins. That's it. That's pretty much it. But Aspinall, we've seen submissions, we've seen grappling, we've seen him crack. All in all, I still am going to give the nod to Pavlovich. I think he's going to get it done. I think that dynamite of a hand is going to do something, but it's not going to be this one-sided affair by any means. It's a competitive fight. It's a competitive match. Their stats stack up incredibly. And of course, I'm sure you've heard who the main event is. Alex Pereira is fighting Yuri Prohaska. That was moved to the main event. This interim championship has been moved to the co-main event. I gotta say, both of these are super exciting, and I just can't wait for UFC 295. And once again, this short notice change is on 12 days notice. And of course, the other edge I want to give to Sergei is the fact that he has probably been in training camp. We haven't heard too much about it, but he was intended to be the backup fighter for Stipe and Jones, right? If one of them gets hurt, he steps in, he goes and he fights for the title. So he's probably been, in there preparing for a wrestling heavy style, right? Everybody knows the guy can crack. So he's probably been preparing with takedown defense, different things like that, as opposed to Aspinall, who is coming off the couch. Now, again, does this mean that he loses? Not necessarily. Again, he has a huge repertoire of things that he can go to. But of course, I am giving the nod to Pavlovich because of the fact that he only has to hit him once in 25 rounds, and it's likely that he's going down. And number two, he has been training. Both of them, if they were given adequate time to prepare, I think it's 50-50. But right now, I think it favors Pavlovich. What do you guys think? Who do you think is going to come out on top? Tom Aspinall, Sergei Pavlovich? Has the UFC heavyweight division been this exciting since Francis Ngannou left? I don't think so. Really and truly, it's a great time to be a fight fan.